Mr. Malick, is this somewhat a mistrust as well when it comes to their intel team coming here and trying to do a joint kind of investigation? Is there an element of mistrust involved here from Chinese?
I don't think so. I think the way the government responded, the Prime Minister immediately went to the Chinese embassy. His cabinet members were there. Then the way the whole thing was catered to, I think there's no mistrust there, and it's just an additional, what you call an add-on. But one thing needs to be made clear. Fahd just pointed out that the division was raised for CPEC projects. I was talking for one of the relevant security people from the government, and he pointed out that this project was not part of CPEC, and that's why this Chinese team did not have military cover. They had a private security firm and stuff like that. So now there is talk going on about expanding that cover beyond CPAC. And I think that's primarily what the Chinese and Pakistani authorities are already talking about it, how to make that possible. Because it's not that simple. We have a very large population of Chinese professionals working in Pakistan right now on non-CPAC projects, and it may be virtually impossible. But when you're looking at it from the other side, from the terrorist side, every Chinese is a target. It doesn't matter whether he's working for CPAC or he's not working for CPAC, because ultimately it will impede the CPAC projects. And forget about it, even after this thing, the extension of Trebela Dam has been stopped. That project has been stopped.
Yeah.
So this attack actually simultaneously hit three important projects of Pakistan. So, but you need to see, it's not about giving military covers. It's about making a cosmic shift, a massive shift in our strategy towards dealing both with the Taliban issue in KP and the BLA issue and others in Balochistan. How many divisions can you raise? You can't raise 200 divisions. You can't put one soldier, one military guy walking behind every Chinese engineer or foreigner working in Pakistan. What needs to be really looked at is our approach towards resolving these issues. And I think that's what we should be discussing.
Well, Mr. Malick, Washington has very clearly cautioned about the risk of engaging with Tehran when it comes to the gas pipeline. And it is an open secret that they are against the alignment with China as well when it comes to Pakistan. So this instability in the region, where the main beneficiary is China, let it be Afghanistan, let it be Pakistan, do you think this instability somehow favors Washington?
I'm sorry, I missed part of your question. Could you kindly repeat it?
Yeah, so I'm talking about Washington clearly cautioned us that there should be no engagement with Tehran, and they even talked about the sanctions. At the same time, there is a terror attack going on in Pakistan, like a wave of terror attacks in Pakistan, so the region is suffering. We know that the alignment of Pakistan with China is something that is always despised by US. So this instability in this region, this instability in Pakistan, does this favor Washington's interest somehow?
No, you have to understand how Washington views us. For a long time now, Washington views us through the Indian prism. And while we as Pakistanis may not like it, it's perfectly comprehensible. Look at their
economic cooperation. We have the letter now from Joe Biden, though.
You look at the influence of the Indian diaspora there. You look at how the whole region is structured. India is being propped up, has been propped up as a counterfoil to China also. So while when you see in the larger picture, we are seen to fall in the China camp. Now, as far as the Iranian thing is concerned, Pakistan will not suffer any unneedless wrath of America or whatever, if I might call that, for an Iranian deal, because there's a great deal of mistrust between Iran and Pakistan for quite a while in the circles that matter. And while we are bound by the contractual liabilities, there's no like when we're dealing with China, we want to get those things done. In Iranian case, we are doing things that need to be done. just to avoid penalties and stuff like that. So I don't think that's ever going to be a point where we would push things beyond a certain point. America has always made certain mistakes, and when it takes certain what you call very strong positions, which shouldn't be done in diplomacy and in constantly evolving situations. But we are in a bind. You see, China is our biggest friend, strongest friend, bails us out every time, whether it's called in matters of defense technology to bailing out your rolling over of your debt and stuff like that. America is our largest export market, so we can't ignore them either. I think the real test is not how America behaves. The real test is not what Iran does. I think the real test is how does Pakistan walk the fine line. But when you have foreign ministers like Mr. Ishaq Dar,
I'll come to
I think you can't even walk a broad line. I can't even walk a broad line. Forget about a fine line.
We cannot escape any discussion without mentioning Mr. Dar, but I'll come to that later.